Hi, I'm Allison. 3 years of kidney disease really changes your perspective on family, especially when you're hooked up to a dialysis machine 3 times a week while they're living their best lives. My mom, Diane, has always favored my younger sister, Vanessa. Growing up, Vanessa got dance lessons while I got maybe next year. She got new clothes while I got hand-me-downs. I learned to live with it. But when your life depends on medical treatment, you'd think priorities might shift. You'd be wrong. I was checking my medical savings account this morning, the one I've been building for 5 years for my treatments, when my stomach dropped. What the hell? Where's my money? The balance, $238.17. Last week, it was over $15,000. I called the bank immediately, hands shaking. Yes, Miss Carter. The funds were withdrawn 3 days ago. The authorization was processed with your account information and security questions. But I hadn't authorized anything. Someone who knew my personal information had cleaned me out. Someone like family. I drove straight to my mom's house, barely keeping it together. Diane was in the kitchen making her famous lemonade nobody actually likes. Hey, sweetie, wasn't expecting you today. Everything okay? No, everything is not okay. My medical account is empty. $15,000? Gone? Diane's face did that thing where she's trying to look concerned but can't quite pull it off. Oh my goodness. Did you call the bank? Must be identity theft. The bank said someone used my security questions. Only family knows those answers, Mom. She clutched her pearls, literal pearls, at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. Are you accusing me of something? After everything I've done for you? Before I could respond, the front door opened. In walked Vanessa, but not the Vanessa I saw last week. This Vanessa had a perfect nose, fuller lips, and what appeared to be new breasts straining against her designer top. Hey, loser! Hey, Mom! Vanessa chirped, dropping shopping bags on the counter. I stared at her, the puzzle pieces clicking together. Nice face. New, isn't it? Vanessa flipped her hair. Just a little self-care. Everyone deserves to feel beautiful. And how much did this self-care cost? None of your business. Mom helped me out. I turned to Diane, who suddenly found her lemonade fascinating. Is that where my dialysis money went? To pay for Vanessa's new face? Don't be ridiculous, Diane snapped. Your sister needed this for her career. And I need it to stay alive. Vanessa rolled her eyes. Always so dramatic. I grabbed my purse, hands trembling with rage. You know what? I'm going to find out exactly what happened, and when I do, you'll both regret it. Good luck proving anything, Diane called after me. It's your word against ours. As I slammed the door, I made a promise to myself. This wasn't over. Not by a long shot. They thought they could get away with this because they always had before. But stealing my medical money? That was crossing a line I couldn't ignore. And I wouldn't. I stormed out of my mom's house and drove straight to County General, where my friend Jordan works in medical billing. I found him in the cafeteria, hunched over a sad-looking salad. Whoa, you look like you're about to murder someone, Jordan said, pushing out a chair for me. My mother and sister stole my dialysis money. $15,000. Gone. Jordan's fork clattered onto his tray. Are you serious? How are you going to pay for treatment? I don't know, but I need your help. Vanessa showed up today with what looks like a complete facial overhaul. Can you check if she's been a patient here recently? Jordan glanced around nervously. That's technically against policy. Please, Jordan. I could die without my treatments. 20 minutes later, we were huddled in Jordan's tiny office, staring at his computer screen. Holy crap. Vanessa Carter. 3 procedures in the last week. Rhinoplasty, lip augmentation, and breast enhancement. Total cost, $13,800. The timing matches exactly when my money disappeared. There's more. Jordan pointed at the screen. Payment method shows a bank transfer from an account ending in 4,721. That's my medical savings account. I need physical proof. The next day, I waited until Diane left for her hair appointment. I knew she'd be gone at least 3 hours. She always complained about how long her highlights took. I used my emergency key to get into her house and headed straight for her home office. It took 45 minutes of searching before I found a folder labeled Vanessa New Look, hidden behind some tax documents. Inside were printouts of the bank transfer, before and after photos of Vanessa, and a handwritten note. Used Allison's account, will replace before she notices. I was taking pictures of everything when I heard the front door open. Hello? Is someone here? Vanessa's voice echoed through the house. I quickly replaced the folder and walked out to the living room, evidence safely stored on my phone. What are you doing here? Vanessa asked, dropping her shopping bags. Looking for the truth. And I found it. Vanessa's face paled. What are you talking about? I know you and Mom stole my money for your plastic surgery. That's ridiculous. Mom said she was just borrowing. Vanessa stopped mid-sentence, realizing her mistake. So you admit it? Vanessa crossed her arms defensively. It's not like you couldn't get the money somewhere else. Mom said you're always exaggerating your medical stuff for attention. Just then, Diane walked in, stopping short when she saw us facing off in her living room. What's going on here? I held up my phone, showing her the pictures. Care to explain this? Diane's expression shifted from shock to annoyance. You went through my private papers? That's invasion of privacy. You stole my medical money. I was going to replace it. Vanessa needed those procedures for her modeling career. It was time-sensitive. You're always sick and needy. Everything is always about you and your kidney problems. 3 days later, I missed my first dialysis treatment. By the following week, I could barely get out of bed. Dr. Marcus called me personally when I missed the second appointment. Allison, your condition isn't something to take lightly. What's going on? My voice was weak as I explained the situation. This is serious medical neglect. Your mother had no right to take your treatment money. I'm calling social services and the hospital legal team, and I want you in my office tomorrow morning. No excuses. I hung up, my body aching and my mind racing. Dr. Marcus was right. This wasn't just family drama anymore. This was my life. After my call with Dr. Marcus, I dragged myself to my phone and called the one person who might actually help me, my mom's brother, Uncle Robert. He and Diane had been at odds for years, ever since he called her out for stealing from their parents' retirement fund. Allison, it's been months. Everything okay? Not really, Uncle Robert. Mom stole my dialysis money to pay for Vanessa's plastic surgery. The silence on the other end lasted several seconds before he exploded. She did what? That's criminal. Have you called the police? I have proof, but going straight to the cops feels... I don't know. They're still family. Family doesn't steal medical money from family, kiddo, but I understand. What's your plan? That's why I'm calling. I need your help to make them admit what they did, in front of witnesses. 2 days later, after an emergency dialysis session that Dr. Marcus arranged through a patient assistance program, Uncle Robert and I sat at my kitchen table mapping out our strategy. Diane always puts on a show for the extended family, Uncle Robert said, tapping his fingers on the table. She needs to be the perfect mother, the perfect sister. That's our leverage. What if we set up a situation where she has to choose between her image and the truth? Uncle Robert grinned. Now you're thinking like a Sutton. Our family reunion is next weekend. It's perfect. The day of the reunion arrived, and despite feeling weak, I was riding on pure adrenaline. About 20 family members gathered at Aunt Patricia's house, including Diane and Vanessa, who both gave me cold looks when I arrived with Uncle Robert. As planned, during dinner, Uncle Robert clinked his glass for attention. I have something difficult to share with you all. I've been diagnosed with a medical condition that requires expensive treatment. Unfortunately, I've hit some financial hardships and, well, I hate to ask, but I could use some family support. The table fell silent until Diane spoke up, ever the performative saint. Of course we'll help, Robert. Family takes care of family. Right, Vanessa? Vanessa nodded enthusiastically. Absolutely. Family comes first. That's so interesting, I said, my voice cutting through the murmurs of agreement. Because when I needed money for my dialysis treatments, you had a very different attitude. Diane's face hardened. Allison, this isn't the time or place. Actually, it's exactly the right time and place. I pulled out my phone and connected it to Aunt Patricia's TV via Bluetooth. I'd like everyone to see what family comes first means to Diane and Vanessa. The bank statements appeared on screen, followed by the folder photos and Vanessa's before and after pictures. You stole from your daughter's medical fund? Aunt Patricia gasped. Diane jumped up. It was just a loan. I was going to replace it. With what money? Uncle Robert challenged. Your credit cards are maxed out. We all know that. Vanessa tried damage control. It was just a timing issue. My modeling contract needed... Your modeling contract? Cousin Emily interrupted. You work at Sephora. The room erupted as Diane and Vanessa tried to explain, their stories contradicting each other with every sentence. You said Allison exaggerated her condition, Vanessa blurted to Diane. I never said that. I said we would find another way to pay for her treatments. By stealing her money? Uncle Robert stood up. This isn't just family drama. This is theft and medical endangerment. Aunt Patricia put her arm around me. Allison, have you missed treatments because of this? I nodded, and the room fell silent as the full impact of what Diane and Vanessa had done sank in. The family reunion dissolved into chaos after my revelation. Diane and Vanessa stormed out, but not before Aunt Patricia made it clear they weren't welcome back until they made things right. As everyone else dispersed, Uncle Robert stayed behind with me. I'm putting $20,000 into your medical account tomorrow morning. No arguments. I can't ask you to do that. You didn't ask. And unlike some people, I understand what family actually means. 3 days later, I was sitting in Dr. Marcus's office with a woman named Laura from the Patient Advocacy Network. What your mother did constitutes both financial abuse and medical neglect, Laura explained, reviewing my documentation. We've seen cases like this before, and there are legal remedies available. I don't want my mom in jail. I just want my money back and for them to face consequences. Dr. Marcus leaned forward. Allison, this isn't just about money. You suffered physical harm. Your kidney function declined by 15% after missing those treatments. We can pursue this without criminal charges, Laura assured me. But a civil case and protective order are necessary. 2 weeks later, I received a text from Vanessa. The modeling agency dropped me because of your drama. Mom's being investigated by her work. We're the victims here. Call off your attack dogs. I didn't respond. Instead, I forwarded the message to Laura, who added it to our case file. The hearing was set for the following month. I arrived with Uncle Robert, Laura, and Dr. Marcus, who provided medical documentation of the harm I'd suffered. Diane and Vanessa showed up with a lawyer, who looked as uncomfortable as someone sitting on thumbtacks. The judge didn't mince words. Mrs. Carter, you deliberately diverted funds designated for life-sustaining medical treatment to pay for elective cosmetic procedures. This court finds that unconscionable. Diane tried to interrupt. Your Honor, I was planning to replace... Mrs. Carter, the time for explanations has passed. This court orders you to repay the full amount plus $25,000 in damages. Additionally, a protective order preventing you from accessing any of Miss Carter's financial accounts will be issued. Failure to comply will result in criminal charges. Vanessa burst into tears. This is so unfair. My career is ruined because of this. The judge fixed her with a cold stare. Young lady, your career concerns do not outweigh someone's medical needs. Consider yourself fortunate you're not named as a co-defendant. 6 months later, I was sitting in Uncle Robert's backyard for a barbecue. My color had returned, and my latest tests showed improvement in kidney function. Cousin Emily plopped down beside me with 2 lemonades. Heard Vanessa got fired from Sephora. Apparently, customers kept asking if she was the girl who stole her sister's kidney money. And Mom? Downsized to an apartment after the repayment cleaned out her savings. She's been calling everyone for sympathy, but no one's buying what she's selling anymore. Dr. Marcus arrived with his wife, joining our growing gathering. He'd become more than just my doctor. He was part of my chosen family now. How's our star patient? Getting stronger every day. The new treatment protocol is working. Later that evening, as everyone chatted around the fire pit, My phone lit up with a text from Diane. It's been months. Can we talk? I miss you. I turned off my phone without responding and rejoined the people who had proven they actually cared about me. Some bridges aren't meant to be rebuilt, especially when they were rotten from the start. I had a new life now, one where I wasn't gaslit, exploited, or treated as an afterthought, and I was never going back. What would you have done if you were in Allison's position at the end? Would you have responded to your mother's text message after everything she did? Or do you think some betrayals are simply unforgivable, even from family? Some might argue family deserves unlimited chances, while others believe certain lines can never be uncrossed. What's your take? If you enjoyed this revenge story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Your comments help us create stories that resonate with you. Thanks for watching.